Uplift the lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Well, hello. Charles McCutchen here. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. Today is not like any other day. We're going to discuss some stuff that has been, I see it all the time, and I have to bring it up because it's going to enlighten a few, it's going to educate a few, it's going to help a few, and it's going across the country in waves. This is big for people. This is big for us. This is big for everybody. So this is Charles's Corner. If this is your first time listening, I just want to welcome you and add people to listen in because this is just revolves around financial freedom. It's all it's about is financial freedom. So I take different bits and pieces of the world that we live in today, different financial industries, different things that can help us to move forward, and I put it together and I put it out there, and you can actually go get information on everything that I'm talking about. It's out there for anybody to get. So today, I actually was online and I looked up this opportunity zone. So I have to keep bringing that up, y'all. I bring it up because it is making a lot of strides and a lot of people are just not paying attention to it. It's almost like a gold rush is happening, and people are like, oh, well, I don't know anything about it. And a lot of people don't know anything about it because a lot of meetings are being held, but, it's not really like publicized a lot, or people don't even know what an opportunity fund or zone is, and people just going about their daily lives. Then you have some people who are actually buying into these opportunity funds and opportunity zones, and they're making tax-free money, and it's amazing what you have access to when you have funding. So those in the real estate world, this should really affect you like nobody's business. And those that have communities, which we all do, this should affect you as well, because those same places they call opportunity zones are really just economically disadvantaged areas. And I'm pretty sure, you can think in your city where you have some economically disadvantaged areas. Think about that. So I'm going to go from the top and, say, what is an opportunity zone? Well, why is this even important? Opportunity zone is an economically distressed community. Like I said, I know y'all have some. And what they're doing is allowing money to be dumped into that particular area. And this is coming from the Secretary of the Treasury. This is like bigger than us. IRS is all over this. And so since IRS is all over it, you have all the people dumping money into this stuff so they don't have to pay taxes. So it was created late December 22nd, 2017. And it didn't really start taking off in 2018 because it was so new. 2019, still new, but now a lot more people are starting to pay attention. And so it's like, well, how are we going to do this? So what they did, opportunity zones, they broke them up into like 18 different states, and now they're covering all 50 states. It was just, they started slower, and now it's starting to, it's starting to catch a little heat right now. So it's just an economic development tool, and it's used to spur job creation in distressed communities. And as I say, I know you know where some distressed communities are in your area. So, and the reason it's done, basically it benefits investors for one, because you have investors putting their money in there to get these this tax-free money. If they hold their money for 10 years, you can do tax-free. Then they have these funds. So there's about 87 funds all across the U.S. And what these funds do is designate where they're going to send their money. The biggest fund that I saw was about $3 billion with the B. There's funds that have 100 million, 500 million, 300 million, and they say, I want this particular money to go to an HBCU. I want this particular money to go to multifamily units in St. Louis. I want this particular money to go to Virginia Beach, Virginia, and a community. So they designate, states and what that money is going to be used for. And so investors are going to make money because they're allowing their money to be used for a significant period of time. So opportunity zones, if you just look online, they have a PDF on it. They have all this documentation on opportunity zones and where they're located. One thing you can do is go down to your city hall. Go down there and start asking questions. Talk to somebody about just get educated, really. Just ask, what's going on with opportunity zones? What is this big thing? Why is it so huge? Why are they having all these meetings about it? Why are people dumping all this money into it? And how can we as a community benefit from this? And that's what you have to look at. So you have all these people who have all this funding dumping all this money for some reason. And you have to look at why they're doing it, who's getting to do it, and why a lot more people are not a part of it. See, I keep my eyes and ears open, y'all. That's all. I just keep it open and just to start looking at different things differently when I don't see a lot of people participating in something like this. There's a lot of people not participating. It's like, why are they not participating? So some benefits of investing in opportunity zones and why some of these folks are investing is basically they can reinvest their gains. And I know I'm going a little bit higher than most people may be able to understand, and that's okay because I really need you to do your due diligence. So anytime, let me give y'all some examples as well. So let's say somebody dumps some money they have an investment into a 30-unit apartment building. So they paid X number of dollars. They held it for a little while. They made some money off of that. The money that you make off of that is called capital gains. And so if you can do a few things with that money. Now, everybody wants to have more money, and doesn't want the government to take all their money. So we do, the investors do all this stuff to actually keep the money and to roll it over to another investment, which is called a 1031 exchange, because you still have to get taxed, but you can get taxed at a lower rate, and you can get taxed later if you follow the rules of the law. Let me give you my disclaimer. I'm not giving y'all any legal advice. Please contact your legal representative. This is just information on things that I know, things that I go to meetings for, and things that I hear people discuss. So capital gains taxes are huge, and so people want to eliminate or not have capital gains taxes. So these opportunity zones, give you a way to actually put your money in there and to eliminate being taxed. I'm just telling you what I know. You can go to the IRS.gov site and look up opportunity zones, and it'll tell you the same thing. I'm just telling you what I know. So the gains from the sale of any capital asset, like real estate, stocks, bonds, it can be rolled into an opportunity zone investment. And when you roll it in there, you can keep it for 10 years, and then you are not taxed. That's crazy. So the types of businesses that are eligible for opportunity zones it's just too many. You have residential, rental property businesses, and that provides lower risk to investors. So there's so many different ways that people can get in. So a practical strategy to take advantage of this tax bill is to buy older buildings in opportunity zones, renovate them at a reinvestment cost that's greater than or equal to the purchase price, and then manage the building as a rental property. I'm telling y'all that because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So I'm doing this right now, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm showing people how to do it. There's people that talk about it, and then there's people that do it. So I didn't get down to City Hall. I didn't have the meetings. I go to these meetings, and find all these people in there on, how they're moving money around and everything like that. And so we're actually working on creating our own opportunities fund. It's going to take some time. We still got some legwork to do. We got some lawyers on this thing making it happen. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for those buildings that are run down and then taking over those buildings, getting them rehabbed out, putting people in there and getting a part of the opportunity funds and things of that nature, working with the city as well on all of this stuff. So this is bigger than just me. It's more of a us type of thing. But every city, I'm just going to throw a blanket statement out there. Every city, has some opportunity zones. Really not every city, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You have a lot of cities across the country that have that you can call them bad areas. We already know, we call them bad areas, but they call them economically disadvantaged areas. So we can go in there, and this lady just put out today, how do we do it? What do we do? So does the city hall. I don't care if you grab a few people and go down there, because we got to figure this thing out. It's out there. It's an opportunity out there. That's why they probably call it opportunity zone. But it's an opportunity for us to take advantage of, and we have to get up off of our behinds and make it happen. So that's just one thing that's out there that's just, it's huge. It's catching steam. Not a lot of talk about it, just like cannabis. A lot of people discussing it. Just, they're having meetings all across the country. And I'm not talking about, like, companies that sell CBD. I'm talking about the when you have these companies that grow and have dispensaries. That's what I'm talking about. So I know there's a few companies out there that do the CBD, and they're network marketing companies, and they're selling CBD from wherever they're getting it from. But on the bigger scale of things, it's companies out there that actually grow it and dispense it and things of that nature with the medical marijuana. So that's another, like, wealth trend that's happening, like, right now, that a lot of people just looking at, like, if it happens, it happens, And it's going to get to a point to where I think it's going to get to a point, just like in California, you have a lot of people doing it. You have, oh, my gosh, there's so many people doing it, but a lot of people haven't even caught on to it. It's like it's out there, but it's like I'm not messing with it. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna bring up things that I see around the country that are wealth trends. Another thing that I see is commercial real estate. Have to bring that up. And I know across the country, a lot of people doing residential. You have all these people who call themselves wholesalers and rehabbers and flippers and everything under the sun. I didn't heard so many new names out there. And I bought my first house back in '96. So I've been in the industry for a while. I've seen a lot. Been through the 2008 economic turmoil. I've had friends who had to file for bankruptcy, foreclosure, and stuff like that due to what happened in 2008. So let me be clear when I say this. It's going to happen again, all right? I hope that's okay. Well, not really okay, but it's definitely going to happen again. So I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm saying this to tell people that we have to do real estate the right way. And the reason I brought up commercial, because you have residential, right? And then you have commercial. So residential, you have one person in the house, right? Commercial, let's just say you have a 20 unit, and residential, you have one person in the house. So when the market crashes, like it's going to do, that one person may be like, I can't pay rent anymore because I'm paying $2,500 a month for rent. That's crazy. It depends on what area of the world you live in. If you go up towards New York, $2,500 is like a steal. So, let's say $1,700 to $2,500 a month. Some people are going to get let go because that's what happens in the economy starts to go bad. People start losing their jobs, and so that house cannot make any payments right there. So now we have a 20 unit. Let's say out of that 20 unit, you have 3 families that can't pay their rent no more. So now you still have 17, though. 17 paying rent. Now, this is the reason I say I like commercial better than I do residential, only because I know the market is going to crash at some point. Some people are going to lose their jobs. And when they lose their jobs, they're going to let go of their houses. Some people's cars are going to get repossessed, just like last time. Just use the same, but they say it's going to be worse this time. So we have to take into account, like, everything that's going to happen, that already happened, and multiply that. I don't know what number you want to use, but, you do your best. So figure it out. So I would say no matter what happens, though, this is what my mentor told me, no matter what happens in our economy, when it all goes, it's going to go, when it happens, are we still going to live in houses and apartments? If the answer is yes, then real estate is always, always, always going to be relevant, but it depends upon how you acquire your real estate, for one, and it depends on how you, if you do residential or commercial. That's what it depends on. And it's not going to be good. And I say that from an economic standpoint, because I go to a lot of meetings and I met some economists, and they just look at numbers, y'all. And they just ran numbers my way, and I was just in disbelief at the numbers that they were running, talking about what's going to happen when everything goes bad. All right? I'm just telling y'all what I know. So the one thing I brought up, opportunity zones, it's out there. It's a wealth trend that's going around that really a lot of people are not even paying attention to. Then you have cannabis that's out there. My thing with cannabis is you can get smart on it. I mean, you don't have to have your own farm and all that kind of stuff, but you can get smart enough to know that there's companies out there you can probably get stock in or something to that effect. But for those, and that leads me into the stock, for those that's going to do the stock market, this is not legal advice. Oh, my goodness. I don't want to throw this out there, but I have to. This is not legal advice. I'm just going to tell y'all about the stock market. So I'm going to give y'all a book, and that's the best I can do. And this book has the Ray Dalio, the Warren Buffett, and that's who you should be getting your information from. I don't know, I don't know a better person that can tell you what we should be doing. So I'm going to give you, and you can look in the book too and look it up, and a couple people in the book who are billionaires, and the book is by Anthony Robbins, Money Master the Game. You can pick that book up. Get the audio book, get whatever book, whatever one you want to get. And this is what they say. This is not me. They say to consistently buy the S&P 500 low-cost index fund. So the S&P 500, it takes into account the whole market. And over the last 25 years, it's maintained over an 8% return on money. I'm just telling you what I know, what he put into the book, and it's in a couple of different places out there. So Warren Buffett says the S&P 500 low-cost index fund, the S&P 500 takes into account, it really buys the entire market. And over the past 25 years, at least an 8% return on your money. You got to be looking at that. So it's the stock, when we go through this crash, the stock is going to crash too. Everything is going to go down. So I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just trying to tell you that it's going to happen. So let me tell y'all something else. This is about your 401ks. Now, when I was in that meeting with the economists, what they told me was a lot of people don't look at their 401ks. This is not legal advice. Please contact your legal representative. So a lot of people don't look at their 401ks. And this is what they said. They said once, the stuff hits the fan, and once you get to a point to where you can take money out of your 401k, you reach with it at 59.5. A lot of people are going to be in for a big surprise. And that big surprise is this. Let's say you've been putting money in. Now, let's say you looking at it as, well, I'm getting a 9% return on my 401k, right? Now, what the economist said was a lot of people are not looking at the fees. They're just not looking at the fees to figure out, like, how much money are you really going to get? So what happens is this: when it gets to the end, and you say, okay, I want to start tapping into my money because I'm 65, 70 years old. Now you're going to start looking at it and be like, okay, I made a 9% return, so I should have X number of dollars. And then the person who has your 401k, you'll be like, yep, you have, let me see, let me throw some numbers out there. You have $300,000. Let's throw that number out there. So you have $300,000 because you were supposed to get a 9% return, right? So what we're going to do off of that $300,000, we're going to deduct from that 9% you thought you was going to get. Now we have to look at the 3.5% that you didn't know that you were going to get deducted due to the fees that will be assessed. So a lot of people don't look at the fees because it's just something that's not even talked about. So now you're looking at really 5.5% instead of that 9%. So now you're wondering, like, what the heck? Now I'm just gonna throw numbers out there. Just let's say you had 300,000, and now let's say they not even cut it in half. Let's say 180,000 now. I'm just gonna throw numbers out there. Let's say now you got 180,000, or even 215,000 out of your 300, and it's like, hold on. What's happened to my money? Because I thought, I did my books are done, and my financial advisor said that, this 300,000 was going to allow me to do X, Y, and Z, and now you're looking at 215,000 or $200,000, and you're like, that messes up my financial plan, and so that's where we're going to be. It's going to hurt a lot of people, being that it's messing up people's financial plans and what they have set up, and so that is going to be, and that's from the economist now. So I'm just going over stuff that I see, y'all. And it's adding up to everything that's going to happen as we go along down this journey. And I will say that you can start seeing the lenders out there in the commercial world and in the residential world. They're lessening the purse strings and starting to give money. When that happens, you have to look at the domino effect of what's going to happen as we go along on this journey. I'm just telling y'all what I know, and I know people may be shocked at this, but it's information that I think you need to know about. That's all. So, wealth trends, and then things that we need to know about. You have the opportunity zones. You have cannabis. You have commercial real estate. You have the residential real estate. You can make money there too. You have the stock market. You have the 401k. And now let's look at some of the things that a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are saving, very little bit of money. And when I say little bit of money, you have a lot of people. I know people in there, I think they're 65 years old. They have less than $1,000 of discretionary income. And then when you have the baby boomers out there, they're having to work until, late into their 70s. And then you have the millennials, if that's what we want to call them. A lot of them don't really want to work a job. They kind of just, a lot of them are trying to create their own jobs, and some of them don't want to work either. So it's going to be a hot mess. And this is one of the bigger ones that I want to talk about, technology. Technology. And so as I was coming up, I had a paper route. I worked at McDonald's, and now, you go into McDonald's, you go into a place called Wawa, you go into all these places, and you can push the button. And even Walmart, you go through the self-checkout. A lot of self-checkouts coming online. I don't know what it's doing to their bottom dollar, maybe saving money because they don't have to pay for health insurance for these people. So the bad part is you have less jobs and more people. So you have less jobs and more people, and the economists were talking about how technology is taking over the jobs, and then they said it's going to cause more crime. So we're all involved in that. because people still have to eat. And, you have the students that's graduating from college that can't find a job. Then you have the people who have 2 master's degrees who can't find a job. Then you have the elderly who can't find a job. And then you have the people who didn't go to school who can't find a job. So what do you have? You have, oh my gosh, you have a lot of people who can't find a job. There's millions, and then there's millions, and on top of that, you have a lot of people that don't even, they're not even being counted for, that can't find a job and anything like that. So it's like, what's going to happen when the market crashes? People start losing their homes. People start losing their jobs. There's already a group of people who don't have jobs. Technology's already taken over. Their 401k has been hit like crazy. I mean, what do? Family. Telling y'all right now, we have to pay attention to the signs. Right now, there's signs that's going on right now. But we're not paying attention. We're kind of just going through life. We have to pay attention to the signs. I don't know what that means for you. I don't know what you're willing to do. I don't know if you know that it's not going to be happy. Pay attention. Pay attention. We have to do, for me, it's getting out there and speaking to these folks who can help us out in our endeavors. I don't even know how the dollar is going to be affected, really. I really don't. I know you say you're making all this money, and next thing you know, the dollar is less than $1, and the dollar is worth like 30 cents. What happens then? Not to say that that's going to happen, but it's just a thought that I have. Like, man, we're really going through it, and we don't even know it's coming. But slowly it's coming. But most of us, I'm gonna just tell you how it is. Most of us want to be entertained. That's just what it is. The funny thing is this. So I work with a lot of high net worth people, right? And it's crazy to hear somebody talk about, they have $500 million and they want to buy a freaking hotel or they want to buy a casino. And it's like, wow, they have $500 million. And they said, no, we could take up to $1 billion. We're part of the hedge fund. We can buy a $1 billion asset. It's amazing. That's truly amazing. And, not to throw it out there, but, some of them got to jump on life, and some of us didn't. But we did. So now what do? So I have people out there right now, a guy that I know right now up in the Canada market, and he's looking to put $800 million in investment. That's just amazing to me. It's like, that's just truly amazing. He's looking to invest $800 million. Like, who does that? If you invest in $800 million, well, it started out as $1 billion, over $1 billion. He's investing it into different projects, and I mean, if you're a billionaire, what is life looking like? But not to say that we have to give up or anything, but I'm saying we have to be smarter. I think, a lot of people were living vicariously through these folks who's on TV and taking all these lavish trips and stuff like that. But some of them have worked and some of them haven't. And when I say that, a lot of people that's on these trips, they come back and their lights off. So we're going to keep it 100 with y'all. Let's keep it real. So I think you have to look at, like where you are and work with those people who have your same mindset. Now, if you don't want to do much, and you're probably going to have those people that are surrounding you that don't want to do much. It happens. That's part of life. So they say if you hang around 4 broke people, guess what? You're probably going to be the 5th, because you have to have somebody that can pour into you. It's almost like having an empty cup, and you take an empty cup if you're at home and pour it into something and see what comes out of it. If you don't have anything to pour out of, how can you learn? How can you go further? I truly believe in my heart of hearts, God gave us everything we needed. That's why he was able to rest on the seventh day, because he did everything he had to do, everything. There is nothing that is left for him to do. It's been done. It's already done. Everything. Now, your gift, this is what I believe, your gift, our gift, my gift to him is to use everything we have within us to get to where we need to go, because we're supposed to be living in abundance. We're supposed to. Now, when we look at the economy, and we look at what's going on in the world, and we look at the statistics, we are $1 trillion in credit card debt, $1 trillion in car debt, $1 trillion in home debt, $1 trillion in student loan debt. We are in financial ruins. And people, we act like it's okay. You know, that's what we act like. We're cool, we're good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I got a 401k. I'm good. No, I got $100,000 in my 401k. I'm good. I have a good job. I'm good. Time will tell when time starts ticking and everything starts happening. So there's going to be telltale signs of when the economy starts to implode, whatever we want to call it. It's going to happen, and there's going to be signs. I'm going to be looking for those same signs. But I'm positioning myself to make sure that I don't have to, feel the blow. That's all we can do is position yourself so you don't have to feel the blow like a lot of people is going to feel it. So there you have it. That's my word. Can you dig it? So I'm going to give y'all a quick overview. Pay attention to these things. Some of these are opportunity zones. Some of these are wealth trends, which one of them is opportunity zones. Some of this is just good information to know because it's coming. Opportunity zones, cannabis, commercial real estate, residential real estate, stock, 401ks, even your savings and technology. All that's going to play a role in what we're about to see. Miss Kimmy Robinson, I want to thank you for allowing me to come on here and bless the people, give them insight and information. It's always been a pleasure, been a blessing to me, and I want to just say, I just can't wait to see what's next. It's always exciting, and I want to parade us out to make sure that I need people to hear this. This is going to be amazing, okay? Dear Heavenly Father, I pray to you right now to bless everyone as they go through trying times in their life. I'm going to pray for their strength. I'm going to pray for their sanity. I'm going to pray for them just to make it through. Dear Father, let them know that everything happens on your time because you are all-knowing, and we must believe and trust in you. Please keep prayer over these families, dear Lord. I pray for those who have lost their faith, and I pray for those who have lost sight, and those that may be sick, may be shut in. In your name, I pray. This is Charles McCutchen. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. I'm hungry. You can catch me on social media. Just catch me on social media. I'm all over social media. You should be able to find me easy. But if you need me, I'm at charlesmspeaks@yahoo.com, CHARLES, the letter M, speaks, SPEAKS @yahoo.com. And I'm going for it, and God has been blessing me and unleashing more territory because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. There you have it. Y'all take it easy. Till next time.
He's my rose, my rose. This morning with a roof up over your head. That's my Roche. Who provides the source of your income, give you that bread. That's my Roche. Remember when you didn't have a thing, you was out there lost. That's my Roche. Then you received double, he increased you like a bounce. That's my Roche. Hey, that's my rock. My God's so good to me. Blessing after blessing, even ones that I can't see. I can't thank him enough, cause he's done so much.
Roche, he's my rock. He's the reason I can't stop. Giving them praise until I drop. He took me from the bottom all the way to the top. That's why I tell the devil get back. Strapped with the word, click clack. And you ain't never gotta wonder where my faith at. I can do all things through Christ. Did you get that? Chase God, not money, that's true facts. I'm obese with belief, yeah, too fat. My foundation's too strong so it can't crack. I'm cool when life gets rocking, no ASAP. He laid down his life like a flow, man. That's why I go so hard and never go back. I'm never searching for a blessing at all, cause he's my rock on my back against the wall. The true rock, you should smell what it cooking. Baking up joy like peanut butter cookies. Get a taste of him and you might start juking. Get the shouting hallelujah, got everybody looking. That's okay though. Yes sir, he's solid. 10 toes down, he endows me with knowledge. Provide strength when I'm weak in my body. I bounce back with a fight like Ali. For Roche, gotta know he don't play. The big homie on the block with the most game. I just lean on him like a brick wall. Got your back when you slack, make the big fall. What a big dog, thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you Lord for giving life and sending down the Holy Christ. A refuge and fortress of solitude. I'm flexed up with a tension like attitude.